You are looking to save money at home and money on your grocery bills because prices are outlandish. You are not alone. Prices on everything have been skyrocketing, so there's a lot of us looking for frugal ways to save a little bit of money. And I have one trick for you that could help to save thousands on your grocery bill every single year. Welcome to the channel. My name is Amanda. If you're new here, I focus a lot on frugal living, saving money, budget meals, and urban homesteading. If that's something that you enjoy, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow along. If you're looking to save some money, I've got an entire playlist on frugal living that has tons of tips for you. I will link that in the description box. Make sure you check it out because there is a lot of ideas there to save you a lot of money. One of the best ways to save money on groceries, and I know you've heard it before, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a different spin, and that's meal planning. So I'm going to go ahead and say your typical meal planning is not going to save you the amount of money that people want to say it will. However, there is a way to do it that can save you a lot of money. Now, typical meal planning is sitting down, looking at what you want to make for the week and planning that out in advance, which is awesome. And if you're just starting out trying to do this sort of thing, maybe that's a great way to start. However, I'm going to do it backwards. So typical meal planning, you're going to sit down, you're going to write out what you want for the meals for the week, and then you're going to hit up the grocery store, buy only what you need for those meals, and then come home. Again, a great way to start. However, I like to do things backwards. First, I'm going to be looking at everything in my house. What do I have going on in my house that I can make meals from first and foremost? Because there's a lot of times where you have a lot of food in your house available to make meals that you're not taking advantage of. And sometimes that's leftovers. There are a lot of leftovers that get tossed into the garbage, creating a huge methane climate issue as well. However, it is also terrible on your wallet. So throwing out those leftovers is not the best place to start. You're going to want to reconstitute them. You're going to want to even just warm them up and serve them as a meal. But take a look around your house and see what is not being used that could be used as a meal. So first step is you're going to shop your pantry. See what you've got there, and then start your meal plans. Now, as you are starting your meal plans, I am also going to say, get those flyers out. Look at what is on sale in the store. With typical meal planning, you may plan your meal, go to the store, but all the things that you wanted to make for meals are not on sale. When you wanted to make chicken, but ham's on sale and chicken is full price. So you're missing out on that element where you could have your meals planned, but only for on sale items. So start shopping your pantry, and then we're going to pull those flyers out and take a look at them and start writing down what is on sale and what we can make a meal out of what is on sale. So you absolutely, when you are grocery shopping, do not want to buy full price. We are going to go there and we are going to buy sale items only, and you are going to create meals from those sale items plus what you have at home already. So say you were going to do a chicken Alfredo. So that's pasta as well as chicken, but chicken's not on sale. You have pasta at home. So now you're going to switch it up and maybe do a ham pasta. You already have tomato sauce, but you would have had to buy Alfredo. So we're shopping from home and using what we have as well as buying that on sale product. So this is what you call reverse meal planning. This is when you are planning in reverse to a typical meal plan to make sure you are getting the absolute most out of your budget that you can. There's also a possibility while you're doing this reverse meal planning and when you start shopping from your pantry, because shopping from your pantry is a very powerful move, you might realize you don't even have to do shopping that week. Or maybe you're only buying milk and eggs. Like there's very little on your list because all of a sudden you've shopped your pantry and you can do a full week without having to go to the grocery store, or even 2 weeks without having to go to the grocery store. It can be a very powerful move to understand all of the things that you have in your house that you can create meals with. Now, if you're looking for ideas for budget meals, again, I have an entire playlist. I'm going to link that at the end of this video. There are hundreds of ideas there for you on how to save money cooking budget meals and cooking from your pantry. Currently, I am doing a 6-month pantry challenge where I'm not going to the grocery store except for essentials. Again, I can link that playlist for you in the description if you're curious to go check out my 6-month pantry challenge, where I'm saving a ton of money by just cooking from the food that I already have in the house, as well as the food that I'm growing in my backyard here in my suburban lot. Now, if you're just getting started, I highly suggest you get yourself a binder and write down some of the budget meals. Again, if you're looking for ideas, go check out my playlist. But write down some great budget meals, ones that your family really enjoys, and write down the recipes and have them available in this binder. It is a great way to keep things organized. And if you're having trouble kind of brainstorming what your family would like this week for dinner, you can just open that binder and find some of those recipes and match them up to the items you have in your house or what is for sale that week at the grocery store. So being organized and having a binder full of those recipes is a great way to start to be able to write down that meal plan and save some money. Now, as you're meal planning, I'm going to add in here that you should also be stockpiling. Now, you don't have to do this with a lot of money. You can absolutely do this with an extra $5 or $10 from your grocery budget list. So what you're going to do as you're looking at those sales is you're going to say, well, ham is on sale, and I know that maybe next week I'm going to be doing another ham dish. It's on sale. I'm going to grab 2 of those. Or canned corn is on sale. So instead of grabbing 1, we're going to grab 2. 1 for now, 1 for the pantry. So make sure that you're also taking advantage of those sales and grabbing some to be able to add into your pantry, so that maybe the next week you're not having to run to the grocery store. You can shop from your pantry and redo those sale items once again. Keep in mind that inflation cannot touch the things that are already in your pantry. Missing out on clearance items is also a hazard of typical meal planning, where again, you've got your list, you go in and you're not even looking for the sales or the clearance items. And there can sometimes be a wonderful amount of clearance items that could save you so much money. And if you've got your blinders on because you're focused on what you're doing for your meal plan, you could potentially miss out on hundreds of dollars worth of savings. Meat oftentimes, especially in my area, will go on sale for 30, 40, or 50% off, and there will be a ton of meat there. So I'm going to think, okay, well, I'm going to take an extra $50 out of my budget and stock up on that meat. So for the next couple of weeks, I don't have to buy meat because it's there. Now, this only works if you have freezer space, or if you're able to can it up. But for me, I do have a chest freezer, so this makes sense for me. And if you have space that you're able to invest in a chest freezer and put it into your house, I think that is just a wonderful investment to be able to take part in clearance sales or amazing deals that you can buy up and stick in your freezer for later. Because when you see those clearance items, you can buy a bunch of them, stick them in your freezer, and now you've got this wonderful, very cheap food that will last you a long time. And again, typical meal planning will miss out on that. Purchasing vegetables in season. So again, typical meal planning, if you're not thinking ahead to the food that's in season and therefore at a much more reasonable price, as well as being a lot fresher, then you're going to miss out on those deals. Right now, it's fall for us here, so squash is on wonderful sales. So you're able to look at those sales and be like, okay, I guess we're having squash maybe 2 or 3 times this week. Or we're making a big batch of butternut squash soup and it's going to be put in the freezer for later. So being able to take advantage of those seasonal produce and the seasonal sales, again, a huge advantage of this reverse meal planning. And if we're going to get further into it, when you're able to preserve your food, you can look for the clearance vegetables. There's always a big rack for us where the bananas are going off or the onions are just past their prime, things like that. And you can purchase those and preserve them. You're going to freeze them, you can can them, dehydrate them, things like that. Again, if you're looking for those skills, I have an entire playlist for you. I can link it in the description. But typical meal planning will miss those opportunities where if you're reverse meal planning and you're making sure to shop sales, to shop clearance. So even I would venture to say I would do some grocery shopping first because those clearance items are not always in the flyers. So I would actually do my grocery shopping before I made a list. I would shop my pantry first, then go see what's on clearance as well as sales, and then I would make my meal list because I don't want to be missing out on clearance items and I do not want to be missing out on sales. So that is one of my biggest tips to help you save thousands of dollars per year on your grocery budget. Don't just meal plan, reverse meal plan. Again, if you are looking to save hundreds of dollars by doing some budget cooking, I have my playlist linked here. Make sure you check it out. I have lots of ideas there for you. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you guys next time.